Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to Crochet Witch Tarot, and today is our last segment in this journey we've been going on, if you have been joining me, through the Forest of Enchantment, and I am so excited and proud of myself that I finished this. To add, excuse any mess in the background. I don't usually show this much of the background because I make a lot of messes and I can't actually see. My screen is too tiny to see what you're seeing. So, just ignore. Anyway, so yes, this is our wrap-up video, but as always, we are going to go through the reading I had from our last segment, and the last segment was all about the truth revealed. So we started with the liar, which is the devil in this deck, and the question was, what lies have I attached to my sense of self? And my good old friend came up. The Keeper of Boons has been following me almost throughout this whole journey, which I really feel like speaks a lot, and I feel like I'm gonna have to keep working with this card because of that. But what this kind of told me, the lies I've attached to myself coming up with the Keeper of Boons, is this feeling I know I carry of feeling like my role and my job is to really be responsible for the well-being of others around me and really take that on without being asked, because it just feels like an automatic to me that, okay, I've brought this person into my life as a friend or whatever, and oh, like, they're having trouble? I gotta fix it. Like, that's my job. That's my job automatically, even if they don't ask me. So, of course that's not true. It's not my job, so that's why that is kind of showing up as that lie I've attached to myself. Next we've got the Folly, and the question we had here was, where might I be led if I don't let go of this misconception? And I got, interestingly, the Hermit, which usually shows up as kind of a really positive card for me, but in this context, this felt like, if I don't let go of this misconception, I'm going to end up in this really extreme burnout, honestly, which is something that before starting this journey into the Forest of Enchantment, when I was feeling lost and feeling just kind of confused, I realize now I was really in this state of heavy burnout from doing this. And so if I don't let go of that misconception, if I don't learn from that, I'm just going to continue in that loop of having this extreme burnout and feeling like, well, and really the only choice at that point needing to self-isolate in order to recover. And I know I go through patterns of that where it's like really intense taking care of others, and then it'll be like, I need to cut off like from the world for a little bit to recover from that. And so that's what the Hermit seemed to be saying to me. Next we've got Starlight. This was, how can I provide myself with some peace amidst difficult healing? And I got the Enchanter, which is the Magician in this deck, and this was really cool. It just felt really cool when this came up, because to me this is saying the way I provide myself with peace and can continue to do so is through creating and my creative projects. So this feels like just allowing myself to go in whatever direction it is that I want to go, and that can be different every day, many different things, many days, and that's okay, that doing so, that is really providing myself with this sort of breathing room, just letting myself delve into those creative projects. So that was a cool card to get. Next, let me turn my page. Next we've got Moonlight, and this was, what about myself is waiting to be revealed? And I got the Eight of Challenges, or the Eight of Swords. So to me, this was saying that I definitely, what is waiting to be revealed is just sort of admitting to myself that I do really have this tendency to hold myself back through overthinking, like really letting overthinking reign as truth a lot of the time. So that's what's being revealed. Excellent. Necessary, so it's good in that way. Last but not least, we had Sunlight. And this was, what have I learned about my own authenticity through this journey? Interestingly enough, I got the 5 of Boons. And what was kind of cool about this is that I'm doing the Deccan Walk with Marlin and Teresa this year, which has been so cool. Highly recommend if you haven't seen that. But found out that my birth Deccan is the 5 of Boons. Also, it has the Magician, Hierophant, and or 5 of Pentacles. And so this showing up in terms of, in a question about authenticity was really, really interesting. And I've been doing a lot of thinking on the 5 of Pentacles, especially since, you know, when that comes up, it's very much like a, ooh, that's not a good thing going on there, like, whoa, and then to see that, like, oh my gosh, that's my birth Deccan? Whoa, not cool. But I don't know, it's been really interesting to learn more about. And so in terms of my authenticity, to me, especially with this picture, it felt like a thing of, so we have these figures outside of this house, and you know, they're out in the cold. The ideal would be to go into this house, but the thing I kept thinking was, is it best for me to go into this house that maybe I felt cast out of in the first place or not invited into? Or should I start building my own house, you know? But then there's another thing. I haven't really quite decided. Maybe it's both. Because there's another whole thing with this where it's like, these two characters easily might not be asking to go inside, assuming that they're not allowed in, which I think gets brought up a lot of the times with like the Rider-Waite-Smith 5 of Pentacles. It's like, are they asking for help? And I know that's something that I really struggle with, is asking for help. So when it comes to something I've learned about my authenticity, is that like maybe this is part of my nature that I really need to be conscious of, that I tend to just sort of let myself sit and suffer a little bit rather than asking the questions, you know? Something to be aware of so that maybe I can work around that. I don't know, really interesting rating, revealing a lot. But for our last 2 cards, I probably won't make another video on this, but I will probably share my rating, because next we have the Council of Animals, and we are going to do the spread from the guidebook because in my first video in the comments, Linnea Weatherstone, so cool, first of all, that's so cool that she saw that, said it was okay to share the spread in the guidebook. So I will be putting that in the description below, but there is a spread called the Council of Animals. I'll just read the little blurb here that explains it. So it says, this is a large reading that requires some time. It's a good one for milestones such as birthdays or the new year, but it can be done anytime you're ready to ask yourself the hard questions, or when you're ready to have the Council of Animals ask you. Take the Council of Animals card from your deck and prop it up on your table, then lay out 12 cards as shown, one for each of the 12 Council Animals. So this I thought would be, especially since it's one of our last cards, I thought it'd be really cool to do this spread, and what you'll see the questions get into is really digging into that sense of self, which is really perfect for wrapping up this journey that I feel like this deck really takes us through. And then last but not least, we've got the wide world. And what I think is really cool, I should have taken out the Fool card. Let's look for that super quick. Not gonna stop the video, because then I'd have to edit them together. And we're gonna do one take only. Darn it, it's not gonna be easy to find. That's how it always goes. That's okay. Fool, 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 fool. It's not even called the Fool. Okay, it's the white, just the white heart. Okay, so what's cool about this card is we start with card. I said cart. With this card leading us into the forest, and we are greeted again by the white heart, clearly leading us back out. And that's one of my favorite parts of this deck. I think that is so cool that the Majors does that. But all I'm gonna ask with this card is to, if you've been journaling along with this or just documenting your experience in some other way, to go back through that and really kind of read through those questions again, look at the cards you pulled, and just sort of reflect on maybe wherever you started, whenever you might be doing this if you are, and to now, and just seeing like, okay, what shift has happened, if any. So, that is all I have for you. If you've been following along, I hope you've really enjoyed this journey. I know it's been super, super helpful for me. Yeah, feeling good about it. So other than that, that's all I have to share today. I have no plan for what video's next. Where are we in the month? Oh, maybe a favorites video. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you're all having a great week, and I'll see you again very soon.